This is going to be a tutorial for my Legally Blonde look. And I have my fabulous model, Andra, and she is an attorney. She is a total powerhouse, and she's a dear client of mine. And so I love doing her makeup, and we are designing a look that's going to be a little bit more powerful, I would say, a little bit more powerful, a little bit more has a little pow to it, a little powerful intensity, and something that she could also know. And so we're going to just kind of walk through some of the steps right now. So we've already prepped the face, and we did some foundation. We've colored her brows. As you can see, her skin tone is fairly light. We actually used Perfecta Base foundation on her, and I did some concealer, some powder, because once she gets up, you are like a super early riser, right? And so you are going to kind of like get ready for the day and you're off, right? So so share a little bit about you're having to be in front of a lot of clients, or
so right now we're doing team meetings. So we are on camera. We have to be camera ready and able to see our clients. But in real life, pre and post COVID, we do meetings in person.
Okay.
A lot. So yeah.
And so you're definitely working with a lot of C-level clients, and
yes, definitely C-suite, and the movers and shakers who make things happen.
Okay. So that means that she definitely, of course, she's gorgeous, and we want to, I think what's fun about it is that you can really kind of, rock a beautiful, strong look, but we're not going out to a club. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, and that's really kind of what I think, that powerful, having that presentation is so important. But again, it's you don't want to take it like, oh, okay, it's all the way to the top.
Right.
Perfect.
Polished and professional.
Yes. Love it. Okay. So we're going to start off working on the eyes. And now that we've done everything, I've just kind of prepped her face. Her hair looks fabulous. And so we're going to start with the eyes. And I'm going to start with the eye primer. So the first step that I did was the eye primer. And I'm going to use that with the number 3 brush. What the eye primer does also is that you just apply it all over the eye from the lash line up to the brow, and it's going to really help keep that eyeshadow looking fresh, and it's not going to crease that way. And so when you prep that, it just works out great. And then we're going to go into the eyeshadow. The next step that I did was taking with my number 15 brush, and I am using the color Malta. This is one of my all-time favorite colors, and it works on almost every skin tone, except for a very deep skin tone. But this is a great color, and it's kind of a non-color, but what we're doing is we're creating a softer depth to the eyes. I'm just taking that back and forth and creating a soft contour to the eye. I don't want to make her eyes too deep set, so that's why I'm doing that. So one of the things I wanted to chat with you a little bit about is, now that you are on camera, you're doing Zooms, your company's had to pivot, like you're saying. So share a few of those concerns with me about being on camera.
So I enjoy being on camera, so I like being able to see people when I talk to them, because verbal communication, it's not just verbal, it's body language. So 90% or more is body language. So it's really effective to see people. And I want to still look professional when I'm meeting with people through Teams. And I'm aware of lighting and placement of my camera. And I want it to be in a way where it's comfortable and feels as close to our normal working relationship as I can. So makeup reads differently in person versus on camera. And I think that's where I need to go, like figuring out how to do it right with camera.
Perfect. Well, that's what we're going to do. Color that I'm applying is called Barbados. And this is actually a shimmery color. It's beautiful. And I want to give the eyes a little bit of a pop. Andra has gorgeous brown eyes, so that's actually going to help give the eyes a little bit more, actually, especially when eyes are open, it gives a little bit more warmth to that eye. And I'm using the number 22 brush. It's a small brush, it's not a big brush. And I'm actually just applying this color right here, the Barbados. And I want to take the color, just press it a little bit, and actually right on to the lid. And right in the center, I'm bringing it up just a little bit higher. So right in here, I'm bringing it up just a tiny bit onto the crease. And what that's going to do, you'll see in just a second, is straight into the camera. And so what it does is it just brings a little bit of life. It's not too shimmery, but again, we're getting a little bit of some beautiful color right there. The next color that I'm going to use is beautiful purpley shade. And this one is called Aruba. And it does also have a little bit of shimmer. I'm using this with the number 23 brush. You can see that it's a different little pointy brush. And what I do is I press it and just take it into that outer corner, bringing it into the crease. We're going to blend that and give that outer edge a little bit more dimension. Camera. So you can see it's adding a little bit more depth now. The next step that I am doing is bringing into the inner corner of the eye a little bit of Antigua mixed with Oslo. I don't want it to be too shimmery in that inner corner, but a nice thing for being able to look brighter and to take, especially when you're going to be on camera, is that inner corner of the eye, and especially sometimes with the lighting, that is going to be very important that you brighten up that inner corner. And right in take that and just brighten it up. Here, but not too shimmery. That's going to be the key. Exactly. We want to be bright and what you were saying. Yes, alert
And professional.
and professional, right? Alert and professional. Perfect. That's what we're going for. So our next step now is going to be, I'm going to take a little bit of the Oslo. You do want to use a matte right underneath the brow bone. You don't want to use a shimmer shade.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Shimmer.
Especially when on camera, you want to keep your shimmer down here where it's just kind of peeking through, and then brow bone. And this number 23 is great for that because it's kind of small. And you can just take that. blend that in there. And you're not taking away from your contour shade also. Make sure that if you're going to use a deeper shade first, that either you have two different brushes, one for your light color, one for your dark color, or you clean it off, or you use your lighter shade first and then go in with your darker shade. Those are the tips. The next step that we are doing is a black liner, and I used a pencil and just drew the pencil. And what you want to do is bring it up on the outer edge as well. So I'm going to show you a little trick. When you have your liner and your pencil, you want to make sure, especially with your shadow, that it doesn't come downward. So you just take your Q-tip and you drag it like this. So along that edge up towards the brow, and when you open the eye, then you have a nice clean line. And you can make sure that the eye is not draping that way. Then the next step that we're going to do is take a little bit of the eyeliner sealer. This is a liquid that's going to turn your shadow into a waterproof liner. So I'm going to, yes, this is like a key for every day and longevity, and especially the black, you don't want that to run. So I'm going to put a little bit of either Las Vegas or Shanghai, which is the black liner. So you take a little tiny drop. And my palette makes it very easy. And it looks like water, it's just a little liquid. Mix it right in. I just kind of flip it. I am using the number 24 brush. And you have a little tiny thin line. And I touch right into my black shadow. Tap it. You want to make sure there's no fallout. And then you just go over your pencil. And this is going to give it a nice clean line as in your army, and it's going to make it stay all day. The next step I'm going to do is a bottom liner. I'm going to take the same little brush, 24. I cleaned it off. Now I'm going to go in. This is called Santa Fe. This is a warm brown. You could also use a deeper chocolate brown or a very soft brown. And then I'm going to go right into, and I'm just kind of smudging it. This one I'm not using the liner sealer. I'm just putting it on dry because I want it to look a little softer and just give a little smolderiness underneath the eye. Also, with being on camera, sometimes you can go a little bit deeper because the camera and the lighting and all that tends to dissipate the makeup a little bit. And this brings out some of the warmth in her eye as well. Great. Okay, so the next step now that we are just did was I put a little bit of the eye primer and or the eyelash primer, and that's going to help elongate the lashes as well as also thicken them. And I'm going in with a black mascara. And what I like to do, for me, what I like to do is I take my mascara wand, and you want to really kind of wiggle the mascara wand right into the base line, right here into the base of the lashes, and that's going to thicken them up. If you start at the outer end of the lashes, you don't get as much fullness and thickness. So I really like to kind of take my time with them and build them up. And if you'd like to do 2 coats, you can do that. So I just finished up doing the eyes. We did mascara, freshened up a little bit of concealer. And now I'm going to go in with my absolute favorite La Must palette that I think everybody should have. And this is where you can either add a little bit of shimmer, and that'll be in a separate foundations video, because just finding the right foundation, your concealer, all of that, just prepping your complexion, that's what's going to really look pretty. And you know what I wanted to say too is that a lot of people, they kind of focus on the eyes, and when they're on video, having the right powder, foundation, making your complexion pretty is huge. Because if not, that's where you're not going to look your best. So I just wanted to add a little bit of contour. So that's where I go in actually with my angle brush. This is the number 2. And I just dip in these 2 colors. And adding some contour to your face is huge because the camera also picks it up. You don't want to look flat. And then I tend to mix a couple of different colors just with my palette, and then give her. Andra is a blush girl. She does love some color.
The more the better.
She loves color. It is a Southern thing. Yes. And it is a happy color. You can see like that's just bringing really some happiness to the face. Colors, it's not just the contour. It is just giving you really pretty, we don't want to go too crazy, but
or do we? Oh, Molly.
That's it. And the next step is going to be lips. And now for the final touch, we just did lip gloss. So brought a little light sable brown liner, which is one of my favorites as well. You don't need, and especially because we really want to make sure that the eyes really pop, you don't want to have a lip that's going to compete with that. So I'm taking the sable brown liner, and then because Andra is a pink girl all the way through, this is Leslie lip gloss, and that is just beautiful. So it is our Legally Blonde fabulous look, and now she is ready for on camera. And you can transition this very easily to go to date night, or put a few little lashes on, or put some good old lashes on, and maybe sparkle up the lips a little bit more, and you are good to go from the office to a fabulous evening.
And I've discovered that lashes will really make your eyes pop, especially on camera.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to be a new addition every day.
Okay.
Yes.
So
That's the way to live.
let's do that. Perfect. Here we go. Lashes. Yay.